Try as she might, she couldn't hold on to him any longer. The magical warmth that came from holding, touching and stroking morphed imperceptibly into the chill of loneliness. Now faded completely, she was left holding her pillow, desperately trying to recall her Spanish dream. What had changed? Something had. Increasingly, Veronica had been rudely awoken by her powerful sixth sense of unease. In the last 4 years since owning Bethesda Residential Home, which housed over 30 active elderly residents, she had developed an awareness of when things were not quite right. This awareness manifested itself in different ways. Sometimes it was a gut feeling to check on the kitchen staff for no apparent reason, and sometimes it was an unexplained urgency to check on a particular resident. Now thoroughly awake, Veronica knew it was none of these. But her unease had so far been unnervingly right. Veronica was not about to dismiss this warning. She turned over in her super king-sized empty bed, sighed for what might have been, and leaning on one elbow tried to see if daylight was present behind the curtains. It wasn't. She lay back again, thinking of tasks she might have forgotten or should be concerned about. In the absence of anything significant, her eyes slowly closed and she pleaded with sleep for permission to drift gently back to her tanned Adonis. Sadly, her dream beau had now moved on to a new conquest. The story of Veronica's life. Now wide awake, she was sure something wasn't right. Veronica ran through the duty rota in her mind and remembered that her cousin Joanne was on night duty, accompanied by a very competent assistant. She relaxed again. Bethesda was in good hands. Joanne missed nothing. Since her 2-year stay at Her Majesty's pleasure for money laundering within her inherited funeral parlour, Joanne had become a mainstay of the residential home. As a former accountant, her attention to health and safety regulations and patient and staff record-keeping was anal. It meant Veronica was no longer fearful of impromptu inspections or unannounced family visit from those who called as they were passing to check on Granny. Joanne had painstakingly transformed Bethesda's administration processes away from Veronica's legendary cavalier attitude to record-keeping and authority in general, and into organisational perfection. In so doing, Joanne won Veronica's undying gratitude. Total disorganisation on your part, Veronica, does not warrant urgency on mine, was a phrase repeated by Joanne on a daily basis until, eventually, some of it sank in. Clang, 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 clang. Suddenly the big red bell sounded in Veronica's bedroom. The ancient dinner plate-sized bell with an external demented hammer, a survivor from the Second World War. The "you must not ignore this alarm" red bell rang loud and urgent, as if anyone could ignore it. Snatching her dressing gown from the back of the door and shoving her feet into sensible shoes, Veronica was soon running down the corridor with its sweeping high ceilings and footsteps silencing carpets, trying to tie the cord of her dressing gown with only one end.